All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to get into a really powerful idea that's completely changing how smart businesses operate. It's all about the investment perspective in HR. We're going to map out how strategic HR can take your employees from being a number on a spreadsheet to becoming your company's most valuable and, get this, appreciating asset. So let's start with the big question every leader has to grapple with. Seriously, when you look at your team, what do you see? Do you see a cost that needs to be controlled, or do you see an asset that needs to be grown? And I'm telling you, your answer to that one question, it changes everything. Okay, so let's dive into our first major idea here. We're talking about a massive mental shift, right? It's about stop seeing people as costs to be minimized and start seeing them as human capital to be developed. This is the absolute foundation of what strategic HR is all about. This slide just lays it out so perfectly. I mean, think about it. On one side, you've got your physical assets, your computers, your machinery. The second you buy them, they start losing value. They depreciate. But then, look at the other side. Human assets are totally unique. With the right investment, the right training, their value to the company can actually go up over time. They appreciate. So that brings us to what we actually call this, the investment perspective. It's this whole strategic way of looking at things. It means you're making deliberate choices in who you hire, how you train them, how you keep them, all with the clear expectation that you're going to get a powerful long-term return that really drives the business forward. And look, this isn't just some fluffy, nice-to-have theory. The numbers back it up. The best performing companies out there invest about 1% of their top-line revenue back into their people. Now, to put that in perspective, for a company doing $50 billion in sales, that's $500 million. So why 1%? Well, it's kind of the benchmark that shows you're serious, that you're going way beyond just basic compliance training. And the payoff? The ROI can be massive, often multiples of that initial investment. But of course, let's be realistic. Just like any other investment, putting money into people, well, it's not risk-free. So in this next part, we're going to look at the potential downsides. Because honestly, understanding the risks is the absolute first step to managing them. You've probably heard this classic management joke before, and it just nails the central dilemma perfectly. The first question, what if you train them and they leave? That's the fear, right? The fear of losing your investment. But that comeback, what if you don't and they stay? That reveals the much, much bigger risk, having an untrained, unmotivated workforce that's just sticking around. And the risks you see here are very real. Attrition is the big one, right? You invest all this time and money, and then a competitor poaches your star employee. So how do you fight that? You build a culture and a career path they don't want to leave. Then you've got market shifts, where skills become outdated. You counter that with continuous learning. And to make sure you get a good ROI, you have to be super clear that your training goals are tied directly to business goals. Every dollar has a purpose. So, how do we actually manage these risks and make sure this whole investment thing pays off? Well, that's exactly where the HR value chain comes in. You should think of this as our strategic map, our blueprint that shows a clear line of sight from HR activities all the way to the bottom line. Probably the easiest way to think about this is like a supply chain at a huge company, say PepsiCo. They've got this incredibly complex system to turn raw materials into a final product and get it onto store shelves. The HR value chain is the exact same concept, but your raw material is talent, and your final product is real, tangible market value. It's such a powerful way to see how value flows. So this chain is made up of 4 links, and they're all connected. It all kicks off with step 1, the HR activities themselves. So training, compensation, all that stuff. Those activities lead to step 2, employee outcomes, things like better skills and a better attitude. In turn, that drives step 3, organizational outcomes like higher productivity. And that, finally, leads to step 4, the big financial results. Okay, so let's actually trace this journey from start to finish. How in the world does a training seminar or a new benefits policy actually end up impacting a company's stock price? It might seem like a huge leap, but let's follow the links and connect the dots. It all starts with your people, always. When you have smart HR practices in place, like great training and managers who actually support their teams, you start to see real, visible changes. You get better attitudes, stronger teamwork, people taking initiative, and, people actually wanting to stick around. These are those first critical outcomes. And here's the crucial part. These positive behaviors, this great morale, it's not just nice to have stuff. Nope, this is the direct fuel for the next, even more powerful link in our chain. Because, just think about it logically for a second. When you have a team that's engaged, skilled, and motivated, what happens? productivity just soars. The quality of your product or service gets better. Innovation starts to happen organically. And all of this leads to one critical thing: happier customers. Now you're seeing a direct impact on the business itself. And for the final link, the big payoff, just check out this amazing real-world example from Infosys. They made a massive strategic bet on training their entire workforce in digital transformation skills. And the result? Get this. In just 1 year, their market capitalization doubled. It went from $50 billion to $100 billion. That is the HR value chain in action, from skills training all the way to the stock price. So this all brings us to our final and maybe most important point. Why is mastering this value chain, why is getting this right the ultimate edge a company can have?
It's actually pretty simple. Your competitors can copy your technology. They can replicate your supply chain. They can even try to mimic your marketing campaigns. But what's the one thing they can't just go out and buy or clone? A deeply rooted culture of innovation. A highly motivated, tight-knit team. That is your unique, defensible advantage that no one can take away from you. So I'll leave you with this one last thought to chew on. If we all agree that people are a company's most valuable and only appreciating asset, then shouldn't we view the leader in charge of that asset, the head of HR, as a critical, strategic investment manager? It's a thought that completely reframes the entire role of HR for the future, doesn't it? Thanks for joining me.